It's sometimes hard to remember how different life was just a few years ago. Here, amongst the trees, I conceived a new world for myself and broadened my perspectives far beyond the boundaries I once knew. And the freedom I feel has affirmed that we deserve to carry our limited time on this earth and to shape our lives into something joyful. The past year and a half off-grid has felt like somewhat of a meditation on the human experience, and as I suspected, it has the capacity to be far greater than what modern society has made it out to be. I lived in the city for over a decade, and I fell right in line with grind culture, working a 9-to-5, a side job, and freelancing. I didn't care about becoming rich or buying material things. I just wanted a comfortable, meaningful existence that didn't revolve around working myself to the bone. Instead, I found myself in a perpetual state of exhaustion and a deep depression that therapy wasn't pulling me out of. Every morning, I'd wake up dreading all the things I had to do that day, often wishing I hadn't woken up at all. Before I even stepped out my door in the morning, I was already dreaming of coming back home. And the piercing reality that this could be my life for the next 30 years was truly unfathomable. I couldn't make sense of spending my entire life working to essentially pay for the cost of being alive. And it only gets worse once you awaken to the fact that the earth provides freely for our survival. But instead of creating systems around community, cooperation, and relationship with land to ensure everyone's needs are met, our self-proclaimed advanced society chose to commodify the earth and create systems that keep the large majority struggling and separated. Once I opened my eyes to this, I couldn't unsee it. I hit a wall and had to make a change. I didn't know at the time what that would look like, but I followed that feeling. And it led me here. I have a deep gratitude for my life on this land. And I'm grateful for the ability to envision and claim for myself something so different from what society says we should want. Because who really would imagine that living without modern amenities like running water and standard electricity would make them happier? It's not something we're taught to aspire to. So I feel really lucky. Cultivating intimacy with the earth has gifted me a distilled perspective that brings all the wonderful minutiae of the world to the forefront. When your electricity is dependent on sunlight, you pay attention to the sun a lot more. It powers your lights, your fridge, your phone. But one day, the sun came up and I found myself just saying thank you. Not because it was going to charge my devices, but because it's bright and I love the way it peeks through the trees, because it wakes up the birds and it feels so warm on my skin. I came to understand how sacred water is when I had to gather it myself. Something as simple as heating water to bathe or pouring water for tea has become a mindful practice. I'm attuned to the water and how limited it is and how fortunate I am to have it, so I mind every drop. A lot of people are understandably turned off by an off-grid lifestyle for the extra time and energy it takes. But the slow, hands-on labor has taught me how to be fully present in the moment, no matter how mundane. And being off-grid is actually what affords me the extra time to carry out the labor and still have time to just be. Money isn't the overlord I once knew it to be because I get by with much less of it now. And in return, I get to reserve my energy and my spirit for the things that matter, like being in absolute awe of this breathtaking earth. I know that no matter how I live, there will be labor, and I'm okay with that. But if I'm going to work, let it at least be in pursuit of freedom.